In this video, you'll be watching me creating a little figurine, maybe that big, out of air-dried clay, this stuff. But I wanted to give a little backstory before I commenced the crafting, because I wanted to let you know what it is I'm trying to create and why I'm trying to create it. So, greetings. I'm Patrick Bartmess, the creator of this comic book called Rain God Returns. And it's set in ancient Mayan times. It's about Rain God, which is the character I'm trying to create. So I've done a character like this before. I just finished doing this pretty complex little model of what I conceived Rain God to look like for this comic book. But it's a little too complex for the project I'm envisioning. So I'm going to do kind of a scaled down version of this. So I'm going to bring the camera down to show you all these things I've been working on. Just a minute. Okay, so this is the character I created. Also made of air-dry clay with an armature of aluminum foil. And I painted it and varnished it. And here's the clay that I used. And this is the drawing that I based it off of. This right here. And there's another one down here. And there's a close-up right there. So these were based on my imagination, but also descriptions I found in stories in these books that I've been reading. This here is Rain God, as depicted in the codices, like they're drawings. These are drawings. And this one was a little earlier drawing on pottery. So this one looks a lot more like a human being. Actually, all of these look like human beings more than these. These look like monsters, which is interesting because these are later. But Chaahk, the rain god, is described as the long-lived god and has various attributes. And I've sort of compiled them into this one character. So I do not intend disrespect to the Mayan religion. It's just a comic book. But the problem is, what I plan to do is to cast this into a wax figurine, and then later cast that into a vinyl toy. So all these bumps and sticky outy parts will be very difficult for me to cast. So I'm going to try, well, two things. I'm doing two things. I want to experiment with some new to me materials. This plastilina, that air dry clay, and this cheap silicone that I don't have with me. I want to see if it all works together. So I'm going to make this little bitty figurine, really simple, with easy curves that will hopefully work well with the casting process. So here's some drawings I've been making. Side view, front view, and then sort of like, I'm just sort of, I want to make it, this is kind of lopsided actually, there. Yeah. Just want to make, and this could sort of be a solid figure. Yeah. With no sticky outy arms, just bumps to suggest arms. and toes. Really would like to create some gestures that indicate fingers and claws and this gill or wing or whatever it is that I've decided off the top of his head. These knobs might be a little difficult, and I've sort of made the eyeballs smaller. This is going to be difficult to make. I might have to cast the head. You know, I cast them in separate parts. So this is going to be my experimental video. I'm probably going to create this in 3 sections. You know, so there's one video of me creating this little guy and make sure that works with the materials I have, and then creating another one that has separate arms and heads and you know, things that I can cast separately. So we will start on this one first. Here we go. Yay! It came out completely formed. I was worried that it was going to break apart. Okay. That's great news. Okay.
I'm just going to pour it in there. See what happens. Well, that was as good as I thought it would be. Can't wait. I can't hardly wait. I gotta find out. Look at him. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm very happy. Look at what a cutie pie. Fully formed. A little dusty. I think that's talcum powder. No voids, no nothing. Oh, there's voids. But that's okay, those are on the bottom. Oh, look at that. There's voids inside. Inside there. Interesting. I wonder if he's hollow. This merits closer investigation. Right. So, that is with this wax, this carving wax I got from, it's like a no-name brand. Yeah, I filled that in with epoxy just to see if it would work. It turned out pretty much the same. I couldn't make that nose stick out because the draft, and I decided not to put fins on them. For this experiment, I do want them for the rest. He did wind up looking a lot like this though. Pretty much. All right, bye. Well, and here's the original character that I coated with Mod Podge in the previous episode, and here's the resin cast that I made in the previous episode, and I decided I'm just going to make resin casts of all these characters, and that is what I'm going to sell at the craft fair. So this was the first batch, and this is the second batch. I'm using a different kind of resin now, and I kind of like these. I like the feel of them. It's a different kind of resin. This is heavy and dense. This is kind of light and plasticky. So the whole plan for this was to create a vinyl toy called Sofubi, and I had seen some videos about Sofubi before, and I actually met somebody who created Sofubi. Actually, this character was created by someone else, but I met the guy from When I Romancy Toy Works, Dream Making. Yes, his name is Nick, and this is Catbat. I'll put this up on screen so you can see it better. It's a cool card. So he painted this, and he painted another one that
don't have with me right here. And I really like these. And this is where I got the idea that I could make a toy version of one of my characters. But this is it's vinyl and it's hollow inside, and it's kind of squishy and it's light, and it's got a quality to it that I really liked. These are not this. These are not good, but they're practice, and I made them, so I'm gonna try to sell them. Somebody might like them. I don't know. I might try to paint these in sort of this color scheme. So that's the history. And now that I've sort of figured out how to cast these, if you've seen the previous ones, these are the wax figurines that I plan to use when I was going to make the vinyl figures, and I ditched that plan. So I'm not sure what to do with these wax figurines. I'll figure out something. But what I plan to do now is use this. This is the clay version of this, and you can see the similarities. These are sprues that I'll use to, when I cast it, I'll be pouring the plastic into the character from here. So, and because it's going to be difficult to cast with all these pointy-outy bits, I'm going to cast it in different parts. So here is the body. This schnoz will be a little difficult to make. Here are the eyes and the ears. They all have their little sprues. This part is going to be part of it, but the ear goes here, and the arms and the legs. So casting them all separately into this plastic, and then gluing them together, or pinning them in, or something, so that they are duplicates. Once I make the cast of them, I can make duplicates of this, and they'll be things that I can jumble around. This is kind of delicate because it's just air dry clay. These things you could throw in the back seat of your car and not worry about breaking. Hopefully this one will be too. So that is the plan. I think I've covered everything. I'm going to head on into the workshop where I'm going to be casting this figure. Here we go. There's the little character suspended in a tub. I know that I used the clay last time, but I decided to suspend it this time because I don't have enough clay. So now I'm going to pour some of this mold star into it. Create the first half of the mold. I'll just pour halfway in, and then it'll set, and I'll take off this support system and then pour the rest in. Oh man, look at that. That is a block of rubber. In this next section, I'm just going to be showing the demolding of the positive and then the products of pouring that mold for the sake of brevity. Here we go. There. Yeah.
Well, if I just take it out like that. There we go. So, yeah, his poor little head broke. Yeah, poor little head. That's okay. Because this is no longer needed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I feel voids. I feel voids in the spine. Yeah, the spine didn't survive very well. Look at that. Not so good. I mean, it looks... I mean, if you didn't know it wasn't supposed to be like that, it would look kind of cool. But there's a big old void right there. Look at that. And one right there too. But on this side, it looks good. Looks really good on this side. That's okay. That's all right. There's one. There's an indication of a seam there. Otherwise, oh yeah, and this is where the other seam is. But this void is pretty bad. It's a pretty bad void. I got to do a better job of kind of swishing this around a little bit. Kind of maybe doing this to get all this, all the air bubbles out. Otherwise, the other things turned out pretty well. There's, I mean, we're missing, the clay is gone from these other molds. So those are pretty good eyeballs. I like those eyeballs at the feet. So, oh yeah, and the hands too. Got the hands. So I'm just gonna do another pour, and when I get a good one, I'll show you the final assembly, and that'll be the end of that. Well, here's the completed version. This is I'm using the one I cast first. That has, it's sort of the dirty version. It's got the clay embedded in the resin, the clay that was left over from the positive that I had to break up inside the mold. I'm just going to use this one as the experimental. This is going to be the one that I can mess up on. So I'll clean it up as much as I can with some alcohol. And I was thinking I would just leave the seams the way they are, but I mean, even though I did attach it with epoxy, I don't know, I think people are going to want to hold it and try to bend it. They're going to see the seam, they're like, oh, it's a movable thing, and then break it. So I might just use some of this epoxy sculpt. It's the kind of thing you squish together and it becomes a putty that then hardens. So I think I'm going to fill in these seams so that it looks seamless, and then paint it. So that'll be what you see next. And here it is, all painted up right next to the other guy. This is the model out of clay that I made, and this is the copy. I'm pleased. I'm very pleased, actually. The joints look smooth, look natural. This one looks, you can see a little bit of that epoxy sculpt smushed in there, but it stands up nice and tall and straight. There's some differences between these two, and I think I'm pretty happy with them. I really like the long tail, but that would be difficult to cast, so I opted with the short tail, and that actually fits in with the comic book version of him anyway. And I really like the way this one kind of stands. He's got a really solid stance, and he's got character too. He's kind of like in motion, whereas this one's more a little stiffer. This one's got the mystique of a monster, sort of like, how does this work? This one has sort of a more of a mannish body language. So yeah, I'm pleased with the way this turned out. I'm gonna assemble the rest of them and paint them up and sell them at the show. I might add that to the end of this video or make it a completely different video, but yeah, I'm just gonna kind of put them all together and let you see sort of the assemblage. Just for reference, here is an illustration, a close-up of Rain God Chaahk, and here's a full figure image that I imagined for this comic book that I drew and wrote and am selling soon at that craft fair. And here's the plastic figure. There we go. Kind of resembles the illustration, I think. And here are the little ones. A little plastic one that I painted up, and the little metal one. This one I probably won't be selling at the craft fair. This is just for display. But here, this one I painted. Obviously, these are painted with that Nick Pro outdoor acrylic, and these are dyed in the resin, different colors, experimenting to see if I wanted to do a full color or just, you know, a detailed picture. And over here are this little squadron of rain gods. These are little bitty gods. So thank you for watching these videos, this series of 3, as I make these figures to sell at my craft fair. Maybe I'll make more. Maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out if I'm successful.